the tendency to want more, more answers usually, supports the erroneous idea that there is progress. And again, it's a paradoxical situation, because when we gather, in whichever format it is, when we listen deeply, when we simply are here, bathed, if you like, in the frequency of openness, which is sometimes not so available to us in everyday life, or at least it appears so, there is something that can deepen. There is if you like, a more vibrant revelation of that which is already here as the light of being. But it's paradoxical in that it seems to have a progressive path, but at the same time, it's not about the self or the mind achieving anything or finally arriving through finding the answer. So what's really being invited here is, if you like, the undoing of that orientation of the self towards the progressive path. That there's something more. If I find the answer, if I ask the right question, or if I have many questions, I will find an answer that finally indicates that I've arrived, that I've got it, that I've understood, and that I've achieved something for the self. Because until the self comes undone, it's always the self that is on the path. But it's not really the path that either leads anywhere or the path that comes to an end. It's the self that was walking on that path that quietly dissolves over time. So we're really speaking here of the dissolution of the sense of being a separate self on a path. And this we can apply not just to the spiritual path, but also to life. Yeah? Because it's all the same. It's the same. So what if all that's happening here is the softening of the mental construct, the imaginary construct, and all the tension that goes into that in trying to find something that supports the image of that, and that the image of enlightenment or the image of awakening or the image of freedom is, if you like, a false dream, a false overlay. So it's not in finding the answers, but what's more valuable is asking the right questions. Not in order to get the answer, but for the questioner to dissolve. So shining the light onto that which is seemingly obscured, which is in fact that which is already here. So that what is revealed slowly, or not so slowly, gradually or not, it doesn't matter, is that the self that is seemingly seeking something is the very occlusion or obscuration to the light of being that's already here. And then that dissolves the seeker, that dissolves the questioner, that dissolves the question. And one of the ways, if you like, is to allow the nervous system to relax. Because that's really what it is. Yeah? The nervous system is the fabric of the self. It's through the nervous system that we can experience, that we can sense. All the perceptual organs and the brain are connected to that. It's not the muscles, it's not the flesh, it's not the bone. It's actually the nervous system that creates a sense of self. When that nervous system is carrying tension, and tension comes from a kind of future orientation. This moment is not enough. This is not enough, and therefore it cannot relax in that. It cannot soften in that. It's constantly in a state of activity, yeah? And therefore seeking, and that's connected to thought. Yeah? So what if the nervous system carried no tension? You may be able to get a sense that actually there'd be no sense of a self, a separate self, holding itself together, trying to become something, yeah, trying to move into, lean into the future, the next moment, because this one isn't enough. And this one, being enough is not about holding on to it. It's so, when the nervous system relaxes, the mental construct of self comes undone. Then we experience a kind of transparency, a lightness of being, so that the light of being, the light of awareness, can reveal itself as simply that which is aware of itself. So it kind of collapses the whole mechanism of seeking.